Am I alive? Hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Oh my goodness. Oh, I hope that this stays connected. I have this propped up kind of funny. Okay, I think that is good. Hello, welcome to day 19 of 21 Days to Magic. We literally have 2 days left of this series. I cannot believe how fast the time has flown by, which ironically, tomorrow's live video is going to be about time. But today, I'm going to be talking about wealth consciousness and how it's created at birth and behavior that should be encouraged with children and kids at a young age. I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to be woke, what wealth consciousness actually means, and then I'm going to segue into behaviors that we see in children that we tend to dim over time, whether it be as parents or honestly any children that we're around. We see this behavior happen, and oftentimes it's not encouraged as much as I think it needs to be. So I'm gonna dive in and talk about, what does it mean to be woke? I think a lot of people have this tendency to believe that manifestors or people that do spiritual work, that do quantum physics, that believe in universal law, are, we do a lot of like this woo woo stuff, right? Which, yes, there is the woo aspect of what we do, but a lot really comes down to taking aligned action and living into our all out purpose. What it really comes down to is just being spiritually aware. It's really just being aware of our energy, the energy that we're putting out. Hey, Taryn. Hey, Tiffany. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It really just comes down to being aware of the energy that we're putting out, the energy that we're opening ourselves up to receive, the energy that is around us, and just being cognizant of your surroundings. If you really think about it, these are things that are taught to us at an early age. Just be aware of your surroundings. Intuition is something that I think women specifically have dimmed down over time because we live into these societal expectations of, women need to be polite, or, if you feel a certain way, we have to, not offend anyone if it makes us uncomfortable because we feel like the right thing to do is be polite versus voice our opinion, right? There's so many things that society has kind of placed upon us that have really allowed us and forced us to dim down our intuition. Intuition and spirituality are really one and the same. If you listen to your intuition, if you listen to your gut, you can almost always never fuck it up. I know for me, my gut, my intuition is almost never wrong. If I have a gut feeling about something, it's usually spot on. And so many other women and men too. I never want to exclude men from this work. I think I just speak to women from a standpoint of me understanding that standpoint more so, right? But intuition and spirituality are really one and the same. So if you're someone who, you get a gut feeling or you have a really strong intuition, congratulations, you're a spiritual being. We are all spiritual beings. We're all energetic beings. It's just whether or not we choose to be open to receiving it. I know most of my life, even at a young age, I remember, going to the grocery store with my mom, and I would have like strangers walking up to my mom, and they would tell my mom, like that I was like such a light, or they would say these things where it was almost like bizarre. Like I remember being like, what the hell? And then as I got older, when I got my license and was able to go on the, to the store on my own, it was almost like I would manifest these people into my energetic space who just felt like they wanted to tell me their whole life story. Or people would come up to me and like tell me what I was in a past life, or just all of these crazy things that to me, I remember being like, number one, really fucking freaked out. Number two, I thought those people were batshit crazy. And number three, I was just really closed off to it. I didn't understand. I remember thinking that like all of them had to be nuts and like were absolutely crazy. But the truth is that I was just really closed off to that work. I was really closed off to the energetic side of my spirituality, to what the entire universe had to offer. And I know that there are people, because I was someone who was once very closed off to this work, I know that when I do these live trainings, when I make certain posts, that there's people that look at my posts and they think I'm absolutely batshit crazy. And I get it. But when we're so closed off to it, when we don't understand how it works, why it works, we don't understand, as humans, we like scientific proof for things. We like to have tangible proof as to why something is happening, right? So when we're talking about a belief system, right, it's really hard to back a belief system up with proof because it varies from person to person. We were not created the same. God did not create us to be one and the same. We are all different. We all have a different subconscious programming. We all have a different conscious programming, right? We all have different hopes and dreams, a different way of doing things. You and I could be looking at the same picture and we would never perceive it in the same way. We could be standing in the exact same spot, looking at the exact same picture. The colors would look different to us. The images would look different to us. The feelings that it evokes in us would feel different, right? So it makes sense that backing a belief system with spirituality or with energy doesn't make sense to a lot of people, especially when they're not open to receiving it. So being woke just simply just means being open to receiving spiritual information, being open to receiving and acknowledging the energy that you're putting out and the energy that you're receiving, the energy that you're available for. A lot of us don't understand, based on our subconscious blueprint, the energy that we're actually allowing ourselves to be available for. So tapping into that, what about my purpose? What about the energy that I'm holding? What about the way that my mind on autopilot, my subconscious is working? What about it is allowing me to be available for these certain circumstances that have come into my frequency, that have come into my physical existence, right? So being woke just simply means being spiritually aware, okay? And I know, again, from being a child and early on and having people walk up to me and my mom at the store and say things about just me being like a light, or me just having like this vibrant personality, or telling me like super bizarre things that now I understand, but before I thought was absolutely bizarre, is because I was closed off, right? I was closed off for almost 27 years of my life, right? I didn't start diving into this work until I was 27 turning 28, right? So number one, that's what being woke means. Number two is, how do we tie this into wealth consciousness? A lot of what I've talked about in this series is really up-leveling your money mindset, is reprogramming your subconscious to understand maybe why some of us are master manifestors. Some of us that, some of you that are tuning in might be, a great magnet, a great receiver of abundance. Others might not be, right? So kind of breaking down why some of us might be great receivers, why some of us might not be, and how we can take back the control on that, and we can actually reprogram our subconscious to grow into better manifestors, right? And we're all always manifesting. At every single second, every single point in our life, we're always manifesting. It's just, are we aware of what we're manifesting, right? Are we manifesting what we desire, or are we manifesting what we subconsciously are manifesting but not consciously desiring, right? So being woke really comes down to identifying your consciousness. And when we have wealth conscious, so let me break this down. When we are woke, our wealth consciousness follows, not the other way around. So I want to read a passage to you guys from the book that I'm reading. I am reading A Happy Pocket Full of Money, okay? And it is one of like the best books that I've ever read. And one of the paragraphs, which of course I had it bookmarked and I lost it. Okay. So, wealth follows those with wealth consciousness, not the other way around. Wealth consciousness comes from the states and thoughts of prosperity and wealth that are full of confidence. It does not allow thoughts about poverty or limitations, doubt, or scarcity. It does not allow states of fear and disbelief, okay? This is coming from A Happy Pocket Full of Money. It is an incredible book. I've cited it quite a few times in this series as well. So if you guys are interested, definitely go check it out. It's very in-depth. I would say go back to the beginning of the series if you have not followed this entire series up till now before reading it. But it's really, really good. So we have to be woke. We have to have some sort of level of consciousness in order to tap into our wealth consciousness. Now, some of us are just born that way. Some of us are born more open to receiving abundance, are born more open to understanding how energy works. I come into contact with people all the time and they're like, it's just money. It'll always come back to me, right? they spend it, they know it's going to come right back, right? Whereas I'm also around people where sometimes it's like they don't want to spend the extra 50 cents on the extra condiment on their lunch order because it's an extra 50 cents and they don't want to spend it, right? And like more of like a scarcity mentality, right? So it comes down to identifying your level of consciousness. And once we identify what your level of consciousness is, and we tap into that, then you can literally open the floodgates of wealth consciousness. But you can't go from 0 to 60 and go from someone who's struggled with a scarcity mindset to someone who's going to be a massive manifester until you identify your level of consciousness, right? Because having consciousness is the key to wealth consciousness. All right. Now, to take it a step further and to kind of segue into the point of this live video is we are all born woke. We are all born conscious. When we are born, we are literally born with the belief system that the universe is ours, that everything that God has gifted this universe with is available for us in our taking. Okay? So as infants, we know that when we want something, we have to cry for it, right? That when we need something, we have to ask for it. Now as children, infants, right? They cry, right? Now as children, as we grow older and we grow into children, right? I'm sure that 99.9% of the children that are 4 and under, you have encountered this. They will ask you for anything that they want and they don't care about how polite it is. They will ask you for literally $1 million if that's what they wanted, and they wouldn't think twice about it. They wouldn't have this feeling of, it's bad for me to ask that. That's too much for me to ask for. Why would anyone want to give me that? I'm not worthy of $1 million. No. Any infant, any child, 4 down to infancy, right? In that age range, infancy to the age of around 4, will ask you for anything that they want without any remorse. All right? And here's why. Because their subconscious, their level of existence has literally programmed them for survival and has literally told them, whatever you want, you deserve. Whatever you want, you have to ask for it, right? Ask and you shall receive. Now, what happens after the age of 4, around there, is that the word no starts to creep in, okay? And now I want you guys to bear with me, especially parents, because I do understand that there's a level of parenting that has to come into play from a practical standpoint. However, from an abundant mindset, from a money mindset, from a spiritual standpoint, I'm going to encourage you to not limit this behavior. Because what happens around the age of 4 and 5 is the word no starts to come into play. And we start to tell our children, or other children start to be told, it's rude to ask for things that you want. You know, if you're at your friend's house and their parents ask if they want if you want a second helping of food, decline the second helping of food, right? Like, I know, like, my generation, like, that was a big thing. Like, you know, always be polite when you go to your friends' houses, which, yes, politeness is obviously a thing, and we definitely want to teach our children to be polite and be mindful, right? That's just like an empathetic ethics code of morals that we want to teach our children, right? But I remember, like, as a kid, when I would go to my friend's house, you know, my parents always told me, and this is not to fault my parents, and please, if you guys are tuning into this, like, none of these things that have been passed down to us are our parents' fault, right? This is simply a learning opportunity, and the amazing thing is once you unlock the codes for yourself, you unlock the code for your future generations, and you also unlock the codes of your past generations. So you unlock the code for your family as well, which is really amazing. You cut an energetic cord. It's really a beautiful thing. So with that being said, is when I was a kid and I would go to my friend's house, my parents would always say, you know, if they ask if you want a second helping of food, turn down the second helping of food. You never want to be greedy, right? Don't ask for things from others. If if someone offers you a handout, politely decline, right? Like if you go somewhere and someone offers to pay for something or offers to give you something, say, you know what, thank you so much, but no thank you, right? So we're taught as children to literally turn abundance away, to literally revoke abundance, to tell money, to tell abundance that you don't want it, okay? What I'm saying is, as a parent, start to encourage this behavior. I know something that I've been doing with Reagan is I always tell her to celebrate her money. So, she sees mommy celebrating her money whenever I find a penny or any sort of money on the floor. I celebrate it, right? And I do a happy dance and I tell Reagan why we love money, okay? And I'm not saying we worship money, but I'm saying we celebrate money, that we respect our money, right? I always tell Reagan we get excited about our money, right? And I also tell Reagan to ask for things that she wants. Now, I've been doing these things over time, and I know that as her little 3.5-year-old human self, she's taking all of these things in, and it's putting an imprint in her subconscious, right? Because my role as her mom is I don't want her to have to go through the money struggles that I went through as a mom, right? I don't want her to have to go through the money struggles that I went through early in my 20s, right? I want my child to have a bomb-ass money blueprint so that she knows that she could have anything that she sets her mind to, anything that she desires, and that she's a money fucking magnet. And if that triggers you, and if I say I'm a money fucking magnet, money fucking loves me, people love to pay me, and that triggers you, congratulations. You have money mindset work to do, okay? Because that shit used to trigger me. Now, I love to say it, and I know it triggers other people, and I love when it triggers other people because my role as a mentor is to get people out of their comfort zone. I'm not doing any of my clients any favors if I keep them in their comfort zone. I'm not doing my followers any favors if I'm keeping them in their comfort zone. I have to trigger them, right? So I tell Reagan to say, money loves me. I love money. I am a money magnet. I plaster that shit on Post-its all over the place, okay? So I teach her to do those things. Now, these are just things that I kind of do on autopilot now. They're just a part of my daily habits. I write paid with love on my receipts. I write paid with love when I pay, the bill at the restaurant like I did today. I wrote paid with love, right? Whenever I swipe my card, I think there's more where that came from, okay? These are just things I do on autopilot now because of the work that I've been doing. But it's funny because I realized in the last 2 days that my child is a master fucking manifester. Like, so Florida has been opening up, okay? And again, I'm not here for anyone's judgmental opinions on it. Florida is opening up here. And whatever your belief system is on that, I will respect and encourage and celebrate your belief system. My belief system is that it's opening up here. We are going to go out and we are going to go to the places that are open. We just spent the last 3 hours shopping at local mom and pop shops that are opening. We definitely honored social distancing. We had our masks on if they required us to have our masks on. So we have obviously respected all of those guidelines. But I know for me, I was really excited to get out today and start celebrating the local mom and pop shops that were able to open their doors again and start spending that money with love, right? Like, I was so excited, and I made a point at every shop that we went to thank them and to look the owners in the eye and say, I am so grateful that you're open. My heart is so happy that you're open. So, but for the past 3 or 4 days, things have been opening up a little bit more gradually. So we've been taking Reagan to some mom and pop shops, and every store we have gone to, my child has asked, my Reagan will go, Mommy, I want a prize. And I'll look at her, and she'll look at the person at the store running the shop and be like, I want a prize. At every freaking store my kid has gone into, she has manifested a free something. Whether it's a free freaking lollipop. She got 2 little dangly flip-flop keychains. She got a free little stuffed animal thing. She got free erasers. She got a free drink at the ice cream store. Because she asked for it. She literally is like, I want a prize. And she asks unapologetically, right? And obviously, I extend my gratitude to the owners and I let them know, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's so sweet of you, right? Now, I also preach, when people give you things, you just simply say thank you, right? You don't turn it away. People wouldn't offer or they wouldn't agree if they didn't want to do it, right? So if they didn't want to give Reagan a prize, they would have simply said no, right? So they're doing it out of their desire to do it. So we accept it. So my freaking child in the past 3 days has manifested I swear $50 worth of things, and she's 3.5. And I'm like, well, damn. By the time you're 6, that's gonna be $5,000 worth of things, right? So I'm not saying that as a parent, to teach our children greed or to be money hungry, or to worship money. I am saying though, really be cognizant of what we're telling our children no to, because it does create patterns that have the ability to affect their ability to attract. It does affect their subconscious. It does affect their money mindset. And I'm not a perfect parent. And there's areas in my life where I'm like, I have to grow in these certain areas, right? And so that's why there's books and all of these things. I'm reading comments. Christy. Okay, yes, I saw some comments coming in. So, Taryn, I saw you had a comment. All right. Taryn, yes. Teach the next generation. Yes, we literally, when we unlock the codes for ourselves, we unlock the codes for our future generation. And Christy says, LOL, my preschoolers are master manifestors too. It's so fun to watch. People constantly give me toys for them. I had to ask the universe to stop. Oh, girl, never ask the universe to stop giving you abundance. Literally just continue to receive. Be open and willing to receive it. It is there for you. If anything, just start being more specific on what you want to manifest. That, you know, just like we want to teach our children to, you know, ask for what they want, ask and you shall receive. What we tend to do as adults is we ask the universe for something, but we're not actually sure what we're asking for. We consciously are saying, hey, universe, I want to be a multimillionaire as a New York Times bestselling author, right? We're consciously asking the universe for that, but subconsciously we're not sure if it's possible. So we're actually like reverse manifesting. So just become very clear about what you're asking the universe for. And if you're manifesting things that don't seem like they're in alignment with what you're seeking, journal it out. Really like break it down. And when you think you've journaled it all the way through, take it a step further. Really, really break it down, because sometimes it's not like the surface level belief of like, oh, that's just too much to ask for. I'm greedy if I ask for that. It's really like what's behind it. What makes me feel like I'm not worthy of this? What belief was I given that made me feel that way? So take it a step further, but never ask the universe to stop giving you things, because the universe wants to give you things however it can give them to you. So just be here for it. Just be here for it. So yes, you know, like as a parent, I know that I'm not a perfect parent. I have like invested so much money and time into like self-help books for parenting. The Conscious Parent is one of them. I've done some courses. I've paid for some ebooks. So you know, those are all areas that I can grow in as well. But just from like a spiritual mentor, a money mindset mentor, really kind of seeing these things evolve in my child and how my habits have now been passed down to my little one, and how it's actually shaping her subconscious, and her money blueprint has been really incredible to watch, especially the last couple of days. And I've just been giggling every single time, because I'm like, this kid will walk into the store empty-handed and she will come out with like a handful of things, and it's great. And I'm sorry, I'm like a hot sweaty mess on this because I am in my mom's like sunroom, and it is so hot today here in Florida, and I'm not complaining, because I am here for that, and I am thankful for that. So with that being said, that's what I have for you guys today. I figured that was kind of lighthearted and fun, something different. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about the concept of time. So today I kind of discussed what being woke is and wealth consciousness, and I'm actually going to tie this all into our belief of time, because believe it or not, our belief in time has a lot to do with our ability to manifest as well, especially as entrepreneurs, because we all have this belief there's too much to do and not enough time. Am I right? Am I right? So that does affect our ability to manifest, and I'm going to cover it tomorrow. So make sure you tune in live. I will get this IGTV up for you guys. I will get the YouTube recording up. I am just, my heart is so full. I'm so grateful, and I hope that you all have just had a beautiful Saturday and just an incredibly blessed Memorial Day weekend. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.